As a profession, I work as a victim assistance specialist for Homeland Security investigations.
All I hear is dun 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 dun.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dick Wolf.
Right.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Once Upon a BNB. We have a guest today.
Finally, yay!
Yeah, which means I have my matches. We'll get to that in a second. But this is Ian.
I'm Annsleigh.
This is Maha.
And I'm Alia.
Yes. Actually, having my cousin here, my name is actually not Maha, and I've had this
Wait a
conversation
minute.
with
Who
myself.
are you?
I mean,
Who-
It's
that
Moneybags
is my
Maha,
name.
we know.
Wait a minute.
I meant that's not how you pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
But
please.
I had this conversation in my head in the shower the other day, and I was like, I should just introduce myself how my name is actually said, and
It's a
fuck it,
hard
people
H.
can
It's
say
a hard
it or not.
H.
No, you're probably. It's not that hard, but for some reason, Americans, it's Maha.
Maha.
Uh-huh.
See, none of these are right, but close enough.
It's
You know
more
what it's
like
giving?
they say it like a meh.
It's giving Maha. Yeah.
Like Amanda Bynes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly like that.
So, but ever since pre-K when I started school, they were like Maha, so I just started introducing myself that way. But I feel like I need to take a stance
I think so. I have a
and
friend
just
like
say
that.
my name correctly and
Her name
Well, that's
is
a question every person with a non-American name
Yeah.
has to deal with.
Yeah, her name is Fola Sui. And she just went by Fola for years. And she's like, I'm going to say my whole name. It's Fola Sui.
well, people always ask me if Maha's short for something too, and I'm like, no. But... And Alia is Alia, actually.
Yep.
So do you just kind of Americanize it?
Well, I wish I could say I Americanized it.
Yeah,
I feel
everyone
like,
else
I
does.
feel like
Yeah.
everyone kind of Americanized it for me.
It used to be Alia, actually.
Well, yeah, it used to be Alia, but it was the way people said it was Alia.
With the O.
Or they would say,
What's the spelling?
Alia. It's Alia. And
Okay,
then
yeah.
eventually someone started
Alia.
saying Alia, and then it became it caught
It
on.
might
and I
be
was
an
like, I think I like
accent
that.
thing, though.
No, it is, but that's not my problem, I guess is what I'm saying. My name is my name. I don't need to say it incorrectly so other people
I
can
also
pronounce it
don't
right,
think
you know?
you introduce yourself on every episode as Moneybags Maha.
Moneybags Maha. Sounds just as good to me. I don't know.
Because
I
I'm like, if
agree.
somebody has an accent and they say Annsleigh, they might be like, Annsleigh. I don't know. It's
they're
still
British,
my
right?
name.
I
Yeah.
grew up hearing, would Eon Grady please come to the front office?
Your name is fucking Ian.
I know.
You say Ian, what?
And this is, presumably, I don't remember, but some old white lady who, in
Ian's
Georgia.
a pretty white name. I
That's what
don't,
I thought.
I
It's
don't
Irish.
understand.
I didn't think she would have, but for 5 or kindergarten, so 6 years, would Eon Grady please come to the
Eon
office?
Grady.
Why were you going to the office?
I was a troubled child.
I knew it.
He's a problem child. Oh, y'all remember that movie? You kind of give me problem child vibes now, actually, now that I think about
I
it.
never seen it. I never seen
Thought
it.
about it too
Yeah.
You know what vibes you give me?
now. Me or Maha? Not Maha, but Maha.
Maha.
Meha. I'm
I'm
not
getting
saying right.
Egyptian Miley Cyrus out of you. You get that a lot?
I
can see where
I don't
he's
even know what
going,
to do
though.
with that.
I mean, that's not an insult, for sure.
She's
I feel
talented and
like-
beautiful. It's a
Yeah.
compliment.
Okay.
I get where you're going with
That's
that.
a first, yeah.
It's the first.
She has it's a smile. It's a nice smile, but I think
She has
Miley.
awesome
I
teeth,
do.
yeah.
Well, I was just going to
'Cause
say,
Miley has
I just
teeth.
asked our other cousin that was in town who is in dental school or about to start dental school. I said, so what can I do to whiten my teeth more? Because I feel like my teeth are not.
Okay, your teeth are
I'd like-
amazing. Stop
Yeah.
it.
What do you
But I
say?
appreciate that.
She
actually said the Crest white strips,
yeah.
as generic as or as basic as that seems, she
Mm.
said.
I
that-
slobber too much. I can't
I
do
thought she
it.
was gonna say people say use charcoal, baking soda,
Yeah,
and
that's
turmeric.
These are a lot of old wives' tales that I've never heard.
If you go on
I didn't
YouTube,
know
it's like
that.
charcoal, baking soda, turmeric, or however you pronounce it. And you mix it up and lemon, squeeze some lemon in there.
But
and
lemon's supposed to strip your enamel.
Yeah, lemon's not good for your teeth.
That and strawberry.
That's
Because my little
probably
brother used to
why
just eat
it-
lemons and limes, and the dentist was like, "Don't do that."
I still do that. Yeah.
Maybe it causes.
But you know,
a
when you strip
brand new layer.
when you strip the enamel,
So
it's a whole nother layer. So it's probably not
Yeah.
the safest.
Huh.
But look up charcoal, peroxide,
Dang.
and baking
Well,
soda.
Take out the lemon.
Yeah, maybe.
Charcoal is when I was, more recently, re-up in my, I was like, all right, charcoal, that's kind of a manly, thing to put in your teeth.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Black and like hard.
Whoa.
There's
I haven't even tried charcoal in my like teeth.
Look on YouTube. Look on YouTube.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I hear turmeric.
Well, I watch
Mm.
Naked and
How
Afraid,
to
and
say
they'll
it.
use their charcoal from the fire on their teeth. That's like the thing.
Huh.
Doesn't turmeric like stain your hands when you cook with it?
Yeah, you gotta
super
clean it.
yellow,
So
like
you
it's
put a lot of
super
primer on your
yellow.
teeth, but
But it works.
You're
Look
watching
on
the wrong YouTube videos.
I
Turmeric on your
promise.
teeth?
Y'all,
I
it's supposed to help
promise.
with like inflammation.
No, yeah, turmeric
It's
is good
supposed to
for you
help with-
health wise, but on your teeth,
If you look it up, it's a thing.
Cinnamon
I'm like a
too.
YouTube
I
like
started putting
obsessed.
cinnamon.
Like when it comes to like hair or like skin, I just watch it all day just because.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But speaking of fire, can you say something about fire? Don't you have some matches?
oh yeah, because every time we have a new guest. This was a
you have
very
some
stupid
matches?
idea about what was that? Are you afraid of the dark?
I do remember.
And so
that
we
show.
are going to actually judge you on your Once Upon a B&B story.
Oh no!
Now
Oh,
See if
how
you
many-
enter society.
It's never
Are you sure I'm not going to be judging you?
I'm not very good at
Oh my
Okay,
God, are we about to light
table's
the table on
now,
fire?
yeah.
All right, well,
The block is
bring
for the
high.
listeners, our guest has very white teeth, and I effed up the matches twice in a row.
You
I
gotta
love the smell of
practice.
burned matches.
I
Maybe
do.
you
I
got
Well,
do.
you
soggy matches.
I think it reminds me of my granddad
Are they wet?
though.
It could be wet from the beverage I was drinking earlier, or my.
the CBD.
Did you have it
Even
in your
not
back pocket?
practicing.
I just picked them up on the way
Did
over
you have
here.
it in your back pocket?
You stopped and got matches just
There
for
is
this?
a QT
Yeah.
up the road.
That's the one
That's the one.
Did you have it in your back pocket though?
front pocket.
Okay.
Could be the
Saying.
swamp
You gotta-
ass.
you gotta-
Could be, I was
Swamp
gonna
ass.
say swamp ass.
I sweat everywhere.
Is that like a sweaty ass?
Yeah.
Front, back, side to side. I'm sweaty.
At least you're like ventilating constantly. You
It's
know.
also hot in here.
It's so hot in here. Oh my God. And these lights are not helping. But and baby Janet's body heat. Like, ugh.
Yes.
Anyways.
Maha.
Maha. You can keep saying Maha.
Maha.
It's fine.
Practice.
I'm just not going to introduce myself that way anymore. You know?
This is a new you.
yeah.
I'm glad we got to
I keep
witness
saying
it.
that, but I'm still going to say Maha.
If anything,
Like haha with
I'm
an
glad
M.
I'm here so that you can like have
Accountability.
your moment to where you reintroduce yourself.
I have a friend like that. We used to call her
Allow me to
Brianna
reintroduce
for
myself.
years.
My name is
That's
Maha.
good. I'm glad you said that because it's Brianna or Brianna. I
Yes,
don't know.
Brianna for years. I've known her since middle school. One day she was like, "My name's not Brianna, guys. It's Brianna."
Damn.
And we were like, "No, it's over. Sorry."
That's like Andrea and Andrea.
And Ariana
Alyssa
and Ariana.
Those are tough. I dated Brianna in high school or Brianna.
Lisa.
I don't know.
You still don't know.
And
Yeah.
it also got to the point where, it was too
Just call
late.
her Brie.
Yeah. Hey, I just played the pronoun game with her, for the rest of our
Hey, you.
relationship.
What? Yeah, you're correct.
Hey,
what did you
you.
call her? Hey, she.
No, not she, but
Hey,
hey,
woman.
babe.
Oh, okay.
Hey, honey. So, girl.
What's up, girl?
What's up, girl? Oh man, I like it.
Speaking of relationships, you mentioned earlier that you have two beautiful daughters. Not to put them on the show, but I just love how you all can sing, and I'm really kind of jealous.
Oh yeah, so you missed that whole
What?
thing.
Who
Maha.
sings?
Maha.
She said she can sing.
Someone got the
Wait,
short end of the
what?
gene pool.
We're cousins. You're not.
Maha.
She said she can
asked, She
sing?
goes, yes. She asked.
She was in chorus in high school. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, she said
Of
she
course, since I was
traveled.
4.
Somebody's
She
jealous.
traveled.
Maha, you
She was a
obviously have
musical
not been keeping
star.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
solos, duets. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm surprised and kind of.
I mean, I knew that, but I just didn't think it was like something. I don't know. Like you were
I mean,
such a good
I'm not
singer. You told
making,
people
like,
you
She,
can sing.
No.
she probably stifled it. Her voice is very
Let me just
calming and
say,
soothing.
Well, are
That's
you going to
what-
sing
so-
for us or?
No. But what started it was she was talking about apparently my radio voice. And she said, "Are you a singer?" And I said, "Well, I sang." And she said, "Okay." And so I said, from 4 until through high school, and we traveled, travel.
It was
choir
competitive.
and-
Okay.
yeah,
She's a competitive singer. Okay, my bad.
but that was the extent of it. I'm not saying like I'm,
I mean, our true
Ariana
passion
Grande.
sometimes
or is
get
it
put to the
Ariana
side
Grande?
as we pursue other things, such as law. You
Lady
know,
Gaga.
we
Well,
go to
Lady
school.
Gaga, and we were talking about
How's it pronounced?
Lena and how she has a good voice, and
What
So
if
her
Lady Gaga
daughters-
this entire time has been like, I don't want to tell anyone, but it's actually Lady Gaga. She actually super relates to you.
Oh, that's hilarious. And her daughter's name is Lena, and I was like, "Oh, like Lena Horne," and she was like, "Who is that?" And I was like,
I didn't even know who that was.
A singer.
It's okay. culture.
Yeah.
What else do you do?
She's the coolest job
In life.
ever in the world. Tell
Awkward way to
us.
say that, but yeah.
So what is it that you do?
So as a profession, I work as a victim assistance specialist for the federal government.
You're whispering. You're whispering.
For Homeland Security investigations.
All I hear is dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Dick Wolf.
Which is funny because I never watch any of those shows just because I'm like, that's not how that goes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It's definitely not.
my husband
watched
hates
it a lot, but see the hair, like, and it's the bowl cut. I was like Olivia season like 3 through
You
like
were.
15.
Oh my
But-
gosh. I remember when I was studying for the bar, I would just like watch Law and Order SVU, and I'm like, this is like studying criminal law, basically.
Yeah.
But it actually is
mental
like,
break.
it's pretty accurate as far as the law. They like research it really well. It's just not accurate as far as like how fast shit happens.
Well,
Like,
yeah, and
Hey,
some
but
of the
other stuff too,
investigative
but yeah.
stuff.
Oh, the investigative stuff. The law is actually pretty accurate.
That is
but
a cool ass job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're
It
saving
helps.
lives.
victims of human trafficking.
Yeah, I work with victims of human trafficking and child exploitation. So
It's
kids
heavy.
that are victims of like child pornography or child sex abuse material.
I watch a lot of. Oh, not that.
Child pornography.
I was
But
gonna
I
say,
watch
we have a different
child
term.
porn.
so-
I know, like I had to go outside and get arrested. Wow. Okay, but I watch a lot of like documentaries about people who experience that on YouTube. I like mysteries. I don't know why women are drawn to
I'm
that.
into crime
Like, oh
stuff
my
real hard,
crime.
yeah. Even
so
the books I read, I
hard.
just read like crime novels and stuff.
It's like we
that,
want
but-
more drama
or something. It's like we
Yeah.
either want to
Yeah.
like help or we either
Right.
just want to
Yeah.
know like what is going on out here. And I could watch it all day.
She's actually considered like an expert in the field of human trafficking. She's been doing it before it was a thing. Like she used to work for a nonprofit that dealt with like immigrant victims of human trafficking. But she's such a big deal that our former asshole vice president came to Atlanta for like something human trafficking related and requested to like meet with her personally and like shouted her out on like a live press conference and stuff like that and was bragging about
This is what
her.
cousins are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she's the shit.
She just
She's
doesn't
really
know that,
awesome.
you know, I was in chorus and
I knew you were in
she'd tell
chorus,
you that
but I didn't
briefed
think you were
the vice
like,
president.
I'm a really good singer.
Well, I mean, that's something to
I
brag
know, I'm
about.
joking.
No,
Yes.
just
No, she
kidding.
can sing. She can sing. I guess.
I love the duality. I mean,
Thank you.
arts and intelligence. Where can you go wrong?
Well, let's not get carried away. I wouldn't say arts, plural.
If I had a singing voice
Loosely-
at all,
loosely
Can you dance?
singing. I mean, don't you even.
Yeah, sure. She can.
I mean, it depends. Define dancing because I do it like in a jovial manner.
Like happy.
where-
Like nobody's watching.
yeah, nobody's watching and like make probably
that's
more
confidence.
ridiculous moves. Yeah.
I'm sure we've put together some dance routines as a
I've
kid, put on
named
shows
some
for our
dance
parents. Did you? What are the names?
I have the granddaddy clock.
You have to
I
show us the granddaddy clock
I have
now.
the falcon.
The Falcon.
I have the look both ways, like when you're crossing the street, you gotta look both ways.
Okay. Okay.
So
Does that answer your question on whether she
Okay.
can dance?
We're gonna dial it back. I was
Oh my
rooting for
gosh.
you
the look both
as a
ways.
triple threat.
Listen, it's not anything that I'm like actually like, oh yeah, I can dance. It's more of whatever.
I don't give a fuck. That's
Yeah,
confidence.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's all about
I just do the granddaddy clock.
just
Yeah.
or the look both ways.
This is like the Michelle Obama, the like subtle.
Right.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
Very
exactly
Michelle
right.
Obama. But we were talking about, like in the context of human trafficking, you were saying something about Airbnbs, right? And
Yeah. So I was just saying that I wanted to explore a little bit more with Airbnbs or places or companies
vacation
that are-
rentals
yeah,
in general.
exactly, that are similar in nature in terms of the work that I do. Because I mean, you got to think a lot of times when you have these criminals, these traffickers that are recruiting women, young girls, men, boys, whomever, they usually use somewhere. Well, let me say within sex trafficking. You may have them operating brothels, or they may be taking women or girls or again, whomever from one place to another. But I'm sure it happens where they take them to a hot spot, especially if it's somewhere where, there's going to be high tourism. Like if you've got like
Super Bowl,
Super Bowl, something like that, you may rent an Airbnb, right?
You don't have a concierge to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
And
we've had some stories about like brothels and Airbnbs, and those could have definitely been victims.
Right, exactly. I mean, not saying that everyone is necessarily deemed a victim, but you may have some that are doing it against their will. They're not like working for themselves. They have someone else that's considered their handler or trafficker or pimp. And it's just something worth exploring in terms of doing outreach and things to look for,
the spot the signs.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
That's a lot of what she does too, is trainings on like, she'll train law enforcement and like all kinds of different people on how to recognize signs that somebody's being trafficked or signs that somebody's a victim and that sort of thing.
Basically, anyone who will hear me talk.
Well, welcome.
Yeah.
So.
We're all ears.
All right. Well, that was kind of heavy and depressing, but you also have a plethora of crazy travel stories for us, right?
Yeah, I do.
So Alia here is one of the most well-traveled people I know. Like
more
I've
than
traveled, but
you,
she has
Ma.
traveled. Yes, definitely more than me, I think. Do you know your country count?
I think I'm at 44.
All right. I'm catching up. I'm catching up, but I'm not there yet. I'm probably like 38, maybe like 39.
Well, you'll be there.
And next week she'll be at 44.
Pandemic.
At this rate.
The pandemic wasn't holding me back, and like having kids in between, that kind of makes it a little difficult. Although I did travel with Sophia when she was 3 months old, so
baby girl.
3 different countries, 3 months old.
So she's at 4 right now?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Talking countries, not years.
Baby.
How many countries has Sophia been to?
Yeah, she's been to 3 countries, and she just turned 5. So
Does America not count? Yeah, get you to 4.
I count it.
well, then we'll
this
count
is a
it.
country
4.
I have been
Is
to.
that 4?
Yeah.
We were supposed to be visiting Egypt last June, but we had to cancel those plans because of COVID. So it would have been 5 by the age of 5.
Pretty cool. Kids don't have to
up.
stop your life, travelers. Just so you know, you can travel with them. Sure, it's not easy, but it happens. But anyways, you have like 30 stories for us, but we'll get into some of them. I think we were going to start with a story about Rome, maybe, right?
Yes, and I'm sure my brother and sister, like if they ever listen to this podcast, they're just gonna shake their heads.
They better be
this
listening
one.
first of all. But
I'll make sure of it. But we decided to take just like a siblings trip to Italy. So we visited Venice, Florence, and Rome. I had visited each of those cities before, but we decided, why not kind of, you get a different experience with every city, every town, every
How many
country you've
siblings are
been
we
to.
talking about? How old are you all at the time?
Sorry. So my sister is now...
she just turned 35. So me and her sister are 3 weeks apart.
Aww.
So we're cousins. But my brother and her brother are actually 4 days apart. And it's a pretty funny story. Both of our moms went to the same gyno and got IUDs. And he fucked it up on both of them. And they both got pregnant accidentally at the same time. So our brothers are 4 days apart.
Pretty talented gyno there.
I know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, crazy. But
so, and so our brothers
are 33.
33?
Yeah, which is crazy.
Okay,
I feel
so
like
33 and
but...
35 now. Now,
and
when
she's
we
38.
went...
I guess I didn't need to add that part.
Yeah, that's okay. Wonderful 38.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to embrace it.
38 is the new 28.
Exactly, 30 great.
30 great.
And
so how long ago is this?
We were, I want to say I was in my, let's say mid 20s, because I want to say they were still in college.
Okay.
But we each kind of took pieces of planning things out. And I guess this is where I failed.
Letting them
because-
participate?
Well,
No, she failed on
Oh, okay.
the
I
planning.
thought the big
oldest,
sister was
right?
holding down, but
You would
Right,
think.
you would think. And I have traveled more. I believe just a few years before that, I had studied abroad in France. And so it was, I would say I was
She knew
well
Europe.
traveled.
I knew my shit.
Yeah.
And I guess I was a little used to staying in the like hostels and like really kind of, being humble about my travels.
Yeah, not super fancy.
Exactly. And they picked out like, hotels, like super cute, boutique, little quaint, hotels that weren't expensive. But when it came to Rome, I guess I should have researched it a little bit more. And we ended up like on basically campgrounds. And it was not just your average campgrounds. Like we got there and first of all, the camper that we were in, and
like an RV
up.
or is this like a tent?
No, this is like not even like a big RV. This is like a little camper. Like you
pull with a hitch behind a car?
Yeah, basically. Okay. And
Was it 3 separate ones?
3 separate beds?
No, like little,
Three
like
separate campers? Doubt it.
No. Just one and a small shower. There wasn't even like a little kitchenette or anything. It was just enough room for little like shower, little itty bitty sink, and then like a bunk bed, and then like one,
extra
single bed. Yeah.
We got top bunk.
I think my sister actually did, which in retrospect, I probably should have gotten top bunk since I failed miserably. But
I like the top bunk personally.
it was a little, well, not a little. It was a lot shady. It was not in like proper Rome where you could get places easily. Like we had to walk so far to like get to where any type of civilization was. There was like a
the oldest civilization. What's going on?
right.
But it was just like they had like a I guess
Are we talking wilderness? Let's paint a picture.
Or is it like trailer park? I'm getting like trailer park vibes.
I would say.
What's an Italian trailer park look like?
Right.
Okay.
Probably awesome. If you put Italian in front of anything,
Seems
it makes it
pretty
fancy.
classy.
Well,
Italian leather,
here's the
Italian
thing.
chocolate, Italian trailer park. Right.
It would be one thing if it was like in the beautiful wilderness and like, okay, this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was not that. It was probably like
The Italian
Euro
projects.
trash. Hate to kind of put it like that. And they had like a guest house, which was like where people could like,
Like the communal space or
but no one was really there. No one hung out outside of their camper because you could like, I guess, set things up like a table and chairs and like.
So you guys haven't done a lot of mingling with the fellow.
No one
Italian
was out
campers.
of their camper. Like I don't recall anyone being outside, like just hanging out. It was secluded. There was nothing around.
So what were
It's
you trying to
getting
take your
scary.
siblings to? What were you
Right.
planning?
What did they do when you pulled up to this?
I mean,
Hey guys, I'm gonna take us to
They
this.
actually asked me if we were at the right place. They were like, "Are you sure?" Alia, not Alia, but Alia. And like,
That's when you know it's serious when they say
Are
Alia.
you sure that we're in the right place? And I'm like, no, yeah. But I also remember the way that it was explained and advertised was not that it was necessarily like camper style. I may have overlooked that it said campus, which in Italian would be
Means
like
camper?
basically like or camp. Yeah, basically
She
a
speaks
campsite.
5 languages, by the way.
Italian,
But
not one of them?
Italian's not one of them. Even though it's a romantic language, you'd think I'd pick up on these things. And
what are your 5 languages?
so you're counting English and Arabic, and then French, Spanish, and Portuguese. So
Now you're counting English /
Right. Slash America. I always count
want
it.
to up that language.
right, yeah.
I mean, if you speak another language, you're bilingual, right? Because you're counting
well,
English.
and I didn't learn to speak
That's-
English technically till I was 4, even though I was born and raised here. My parents just threw me into preschool. They were like, "Oh, she'll learn."
I probably learned from her because my parents spoke Arabic at home. So like we really learned in school, but she, had already been in school and stuff. So I probably learned English from her. My first word actually, besides like mommy and papi, which is my mom and dad, was Alia.
Yep.
Aw.
But anyways, so y'all get to
Impacting
the
lives.
Italian trailer park.
Yeah, and
And they're not like sweetly saying, "Oh,
I know. Alia,
I don't.
what is this?
Well, I mean, I would say it was probably not the safest place to be. staying.
Yeah. I could imagine.
I mean, like I said, people were not hanging outside and mingling.
But
People
what
didn't
were
have
you there
the-
to do?
We were supposed to tour Rome, and like it was
Just from
just
like
a place
20 miles outside.
Right. Well, that's where I went wrong. I mean,
how many
was
miles
thinking-
away was it from civilization?
I mean,
you said you walked, so
we had to walk. I would say maybe 4 or 5 miles
I knew you were
to
gonna say
get to
that.
where we could.
Do you know how
at
long it would
least
take me
take
to
It's
walk
so
4
long to walk
miles
5 miles.
with these
like
short
at
baby
least
legs?
take a cab or bus or whatever to get into.
So
like, the
after
city
you walk
center.
5 miles, you still have to catch a
Yes.
cab.
Oh my god, you have to walk 5 miles just to the
Well,
transportation?
Yes. So let's just say it was the outskirts of Rome. It was not necessarily Rome proper. It's like a suburb, but it was also.
Someone tries to go to Atlanta and end up in Dunwoody.
Right.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Be like-
Dunwoody's best case scenario. It's like ending up in Locust Grove if you're trying
Yeah.
to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, it was not. They were not at all happy with me, especially on days where
How long were y'all
Oh,
supposed to be
yeah.
staying there?
we were in Rome for about, I would say, like 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days. And
That's
I
a
mean, we
long
had
ass
done
time.
a lot of walking in Rome. Like we,
What was the craziest
from one
They haven't
scenario?
invented, the steps
Yeah.
yet on your writ.
oh
yeah.
no, but we would
You're
have
not
killed
getting
it.
any credit for that.
I mean, we
That
walked
sucks.
all the way. I mean,
Was there any
let's talk
like type
about
of crazy
chafing.
scenario? Okay, that's a crazy scenario. Shaping
happened?
is trash.
Chafing?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it was just.
My brother calls it Six Flags thighs.
Raymond, my husband, calls it Disney World thighs.
Really?
He hates Disney World and doesn't want to go back to Disney World
Chafing
because,
of the thighs.
yeah, he said,
In Italy, they probably call it Vatican thighs.
Right.
I mean, honestly, is there a point where y'all were just fed up? How did y'all make it through the trip?
Did y'all stay the whole time
I
you
mean,
were supposed to be
we
there?
did. And I think just because we were like kids at the time, just trying to,
Figure it out.
explore Italy and figure it out, we just kept our heads up and had a good attitude about it and tried to think about how we were so grateful to be in another country and have the ability to tour.
How are you able to live this down? I mean, there's 2 younger
Oh,
siblings.
my sister still brings it up.
Oh, yeah.
And
for
I told her I
sure.
was doing this podcast, and she was like, "Are you going to talk about the Rome trip?" And I was like, "Well, I hadn't thought about that till you brought it up, so here we are."
So, what can you leave with our listeners if they're ever traveling to Rome or in general, so they never make that mistake ever again?
So if it's advertised and anything says Campos on there, like stay away from that because
Campos.
no
No
Campos. You're going to be basically on a campground. And
Was
yeah,
there? No, that was in your camper. No.
Is this
That's
the
about
same
running
trip
water.
with Khaled in the scooter? Or
yeah, I believe so. He tried to
Khaled, DJ Khaled,
Yeah.
my cousin, her brother.
attempted to ride a Vespa and failed miserably, fell flat on his face, and it did not bode well. Yeah.
How are the hospitals on the outskirts of Rome?
We didn't end up going to the hospital, but I would just.
Where did
I
you
would
put those
imagine it was like-
clothes, like suitcases, like
Oh, it was. I mean, it was all in the
campo.
camper. In the campo. Yeah, it was not. I mean, there was no room for anything. We literally tried to stay out as late as we could.
and get fucked up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that we could
So you
just
guys,
sleep.
you did have a normal Rome trip. You just had to
Walk to
Shitty
it.
living situation.
Yes,
yeah.
that's right.
wait. What about back? You didn't get to take a cab back. You're like, oh,
No.
we
Can I
don't go
take
here.
you all the way
No.
to the campo, or was
No.
it like this
Well,
is as
and
far
that was
as we
the
go?
thing. Like I do recall that. I don't know if they necessarily went all the way back.
Because
There was
walking
a
back
dropping.
at night is dangerous.
I know.
But y'all survived.
That's another
Here you
podcast for
are.
another time.
Because I feel like, we're going to have you live in the vicinity close to our studio. So I feel like we'll have you back for more crazy stories since you've been all over the world, including 40 plus countries.
Yeah, in like 1 minute, probably. We're going to record another episode. In case y'all notice we're all wearing the same clothing.
For our
that is
YouTube
why.
watchers,
For all 5 of you guys watching,
Don't be a Judy.
Well, thank you, Alia, for letting me know to never book anything that says compost.
Campo means camping.
Yeah, in every language.
Got
Every
it.
language. In every language.
Yeah. The 5 languages. All right. I don't know Campo in Spanish, but I also didn't want to camp when I was in
Right.
Colombia.
I don't know what that is in Arabic either, but I don't think we have a word. We don't camp on purpose.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Egypt, we built pyramids. We don't fucking camp.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
The Bedouins are like, no. Mm-mm.
Bedouins, it's just life for them. It's not a word, I don't think. But
Well, you guys stay tuned in because we have the beautiful Alia coming for another episode. I'm Anns.
This is Ian. Now we get to the tougher names.
this is Maha, not Maha.
This is Alia, not Aaliyah.
There you go.
And we'll catch y'all next time.
Bye.